Okay, and welcome back to Math for Business and Finance and Math Applications, Chapter 3, Word Problems, the Odd Number Problems. And we are now on problem, let's see here, 3-75. Okay, we only have 3 more problems left, so let's see if we can't get through all of them in this particular video. Okay, all right. Paul Ray bought 4 new Dunlop tires at $95.99 per tire. Well, that's like 96 bucks, close enough, and he's buying 4 of them. So 4 times 96, was going to be 360 some. Notice that what I'm doing though is I'm taking the per tire, and I know he's buying 4 of them. So whatever I'm going to use, I'm going to end up multiplying by 4. All right, so it says Goodyear charged $305 per tire. So now it sounds to me like we're going to get a bunch of add-ons here. $295 per, that was for mounting, $295 for valve stems, and $388 per tire for balancing. So instead of multiplying 4 times each one of those numbers, it makes sense for me to add them all up and come up with a per tire cost and then multiply that by 4. But let's see what the question is asking. If Paul paid no sales tax, what was his total cost for the 4 tires? So by proactively thinking about the problem, I was able to actually figure out what was going to be asked. Okay, so I need to find out what my per tire cost is. So 95.99 for the tire, and then 305 for the mounting, 295 for the valve, 380 for the balancing, and then I'm going to add them all up to get a total cost. And then whatever that is, I'm going to multiply it by 4 for 4 tires. So that's 19, that's 10, 27, carry my 2, that's 10, 15. So per tire cost is $105.79. And I want 4 of them, so I'm going to multiply by 4. 105.79 times 4. That's 36. Carry my 3. That's 28. And 3 is 31. Carry my 3. That's 23. Oops. 23. 4. And since I have 2 decimal places, 1, 2, so I end up with a total cost of $423.16. Okay. Now again, that's one way of doing it, and that's the shortest way. I could have gone and said, okay, 95.99 times 4 and came up with an amount. 305 times 4 came up with an amount. 295 times 4 and come up with an amount. 380 times 4 come up with an amount. Right? And then I would add those 4 together, and I would end up with the same 105.79. But that's doing a lot of calculation. I still have to add, okay? So it's easier just to add once and then multiply by 4. So I'm doing 2 operations instead of doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different operations. Okay? Next problem. Roger bought season tickets for weekend games to professional basketball games. The cost was $945.60. So he's buying tickets. Notice that's plural. And the cost was $945.60. So what I need to know is how many games so that I know how much the cost per ticket is. Okay, so the season says this. It says the season package included 36 home games. So you see how by being actively thinking about the information, oh, now I'm getting the number of home games, and if I divide that into the $945.60, it'll give me an average price per ticket. Well, so that says here, what is the average price per ticket of the game? Right, so that's answering my, that's my first question, which mentally I already worked through the process. So I have 945.60, and I'm dividing by the 36 tickets. So this is going to give me a cost per ticket. So 36.94 goes 2 times, that's 72. remainder of 22, that's 5. 36 into 225, about, say, 6 times. That's 36. Carry my 3. 18, 21. Okay, so 6 was a good guess. 7, 9 remainder. Into 96, again, that's 2 times. 72, that's 4. 24 into 240. 6 is 216, and add 36 to that, so that's over 240, so I'm going to say 6, 216. That gives me a 4, gives me a 34. Okay, now my remainder is 34, and if I'm going to round, okay, because it says round to the nearest cent, I have to bring down an extra 0, and that's going, obviously 34 is very close to 36, so that's obviously going to be greater than 5, so I'm going to end up rounding up. So the price per ticket is going to end up going to be $26.27. Okay. Right. Once again, let me just quickly go over that here. I had a remainder of 34 here. Okay. Now I'm rounding to the nearest cent, so that's the nearest cent. So I have to look at the next digit, whichever that digit that is. Well, 34 is very close to 36. So even when I have a 0, whether it's 8 or 9, whatever, whether this is an 8 or a 9, doesn't matter. It's greater than 5. So I know I'm going to have to round up. So I don't have to do any of that math. I could just automatically say, okay, I'm going to round up to 26.27 and save myself the trouble of doing that math. Okay, so it asked me what is the average price of the ticket per game, and it rounded to the nearest cent, and we know what that is. So each ticket is $26.27. $26.27. Okay, so the rest of the problem says Marcelo, Roger's friend, offered to buy 4 tickets from Roger. What will be the total amount he would receive? So if each ticket costs $26.27, I multiply it by 4 and I get 28. That's 10, 24, 25, and 2 decimal places. So the total amount he's going to receive is going to be $105.08. Okay. All right. 3-79, the last problem. Squeeze it in here. Jill Horn went to Japan and bought an animation cell of SpongeBob. The price was 25,000 yen. Okay, back to the currency conversion. Remember, there's a video under the business group for the Math for Business applications called Chapter 3. And under Chapter 3, it's currency conversion. And I also had made a video for problem 3-62, the word problem, which was also doing a currency conversion, right? So go back and check out both of those videos in order to get a little bit more practice, because there is a test problem. There are test problems with currency conversion, all right? So the price was 25,000 yen. Right, using the Wall Street Journal currency table from page 74. What is the price in US dollars? And check your answer. So let me jump up to that. There's the chart, and it's asking me what is it in US dollars. So remember, this here is a US dollar chart, so I'm going to use the second column, and I will look down to find what currency I'm looking at. Oops, I'm sorry, I'm doing that wrong. The problem says I have 25,000 yen, okay, and I want to convert to US dollars. So I use the first column because I'm coming down to the Japanese yen, and I go across and I'm going to use the 0.013001 figure, right, in that first column. Right? watch the other two videos for an explanation of the chart. Okay, but I'm going to come over and I'm going to multiply it by 0.013001. All right. That's my factor. Let me rewrite it a little bit better. And I'm going to do this also. 0.013001. And I have 25,000 yen. It's easier for me to write 25,000 yen here and do the math this way. Okay. Versus 25,000. You saw me have a difficult time of even just trying to align the see that? See, it's a little difficult to be aligning the positions of the numbers, right? And then if I have to do the math, I have to do the math for 10031, okay? So it's easier for me to go and put the factor first and then multiply by the number of yen because I have these zeros that just drop down. Now all I only have to do is just do the math using 2 digits. Okay. Remember, it doesn't matter whether you multiply 25,000 by 0.013 or you multiply 0.013 by 25,000. You're going to get the same answer because it's multiplication. So let me do the math. So that's 5. 0, 0, 15. That's 6. All right. Keeping everything aligned properly. All right. 2 times 1 is 2. 0, 0, 6, 2. Terrible line. Let me do that again. So 0, 0, 0, 5, 2, 0, 5, 12, 3. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I end up with $325.025. And since 5 is, 5 and up, we round up. I end up with 325.03. Okay. Let me look at that. Yep. Okay. So that's that. All right. Now let me create a new slide here, and there we go. Add a new slide, and now I can do. Since I know that's 325.03. Now remember, I rounded that number here. Okay. So when, and this here is now in US dollars, and it says check your answer. So when I come back up to the table, since I'm in US dollars, now I'm going to use this second column and come down to the Japanese yen and use this factor of 76.92. Okay. Remember, this is a US dollar chart. So by using the second column, I look for, since we're thinking about US dollars, I use the second column, find my currency, and use that factor in order to convert back into whatever currency I'm looking at. Okay, so 76.92. And if I come down here, 76.92. When I do the math here, remember, I'm going to be off because I rounded here. Okay. So we have a rounding error, but as long as I'm close to 25,000, relatively close, I'm happy with that. So do the math. 6, 0, that's 10, 4, 5, and that's 6. That's 27. That's 45. Count my 4, 22. Count my 2, 27, 29. 6 times 3 is 18. That's 30, 12, 15, 18, 19. And then 7 times 3 is 21, 35, 17, 22. Add them up, 6, 7, 10, 10, 13, 10, 11, 10, 20, 2, 13, 20, 2, 4, 5, 2. and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 decimal places, so I'm 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's telling me I have 25,001 and 30 round up. Okay, remember this is cents here. Okay, so 7 means I round up, so I end up with 31 cents. Okay, and that's in now converted back into yen. Right, and since it's close enough to 25,000, I'm happy with that. Okay, right, that ends the word problems, and I'll see you for the additional set of word problems.